Remember, remember that they're changing my voice. Now, in the first part, I talked about how I wear this mask for a reason, what have you. Now, let's get right into it. I used to wear my martial art gi quite often, and I wore a lot of different outfits in my videos over the years. I have 19,000 videos in the last 17 years, and they've really made it helped me like reflect on my life. I'm glad that I did. It wasn't a mistake. I showed the world that I had moral repetition, that no matter how bad they would make me look, okay, or make it so I seem a certain way, right? How much they would make it so I seem like I look bad or something, because they edit my videos. So they weren't making me do anything, right? Because I'd rather die than be their slave. But they were ruining my videos. And that's key here. I showed the world that I'm still willing to put that information out there no matter how bad they try to make me look. Now, speaking of that, they're making it harder for me to speak right now. In fact, the word king is in the word speaking. And that's not a coincidence. So I used to wear this white and black martial art gi all the time in my videos. And when I did, I looked much better than I did in the other videos. And it showed me something I knew already, that a righteous person in a martial art outfit communicates things in a different way. Someone in a suit does not communicate the same thing. Someone in a t-shirt and jeans does not communicate the same thing, what have you. Now notice that they're making it harder for me to talk. I'm somebody who's familiar with a lot of different words. I'm very capable of proper grammar, of producing the best speeches, what have you. What they're doing is abhorrent. It is outrageous. It is petty. It is sickening. And the average person shouldn't just find it disconcerting, but unforgivably malicious. And they should have a deep and profound desire to punish them for it. They try to make it so I seem like a little Jewish at times. They try to make it so I seem like whitish at times. I'm none of those things. They try to make it so I seem weird. They made it so I look weird on the camera. I've been noticing this for years, right? A lot of the cameras, back in the day, the web cameras I used to make my videos on the computer, they would distort my features, make it so I look weird. They were like designed to make certain types of black people look worse than everyone else. They have it down to a science like that, and they've had it down to a science for decades. Technologies have been designed to make certain types of black people look bad. And the whole time, the English, rich white people, rich Jews in their suits and token minorities, they look very bad. They look like an oppressor. I mean, the phrase house will say black person, right? You know, the N-I-G-G-A word instead, okay, is one of the most profoundly insulting phrases. And that was what they became known as, because what they were doing was so profoundly insulting to the average person, to the insightful person, what have you. So they look very bad. You had the oppressor and you had the house ones. Looked very, very bad. Now, as I kind of transitioned from somebody who lived my life more like a thug to a martial artist fighting for God and honor, they scramble to interfere. Even now, right, if you look at my eye level, they try to make it so I look gayish. There's some chemicals in the air and the food, and they're also doing something with the YouTube and with the phone hacking. Okay, they try to make it so I look weird or evil. Okay, this kind of mask and this beanie has sort of evil effect. Makes it so like look like a street guy or something. Okay, and when I choose, they say, what should I wear? They do things to my clothes to make it harder for me to dress, and they've messed up my shape and prevented me from doing martial arts, what have you, over the years. So as much as this video comes off as a little chaotic, a little thrown off, you should still be able to see what I'm saying, and it's case in point. We'll call this video Exhibit A, so to speak, because it proves my point to such a degree. You see that I'm talking in a way that's very logical. You have no reason to believe that they're not fuming me, because you can tell that I'm brilliant. Someone as smart as I am, okay, if they weren't sabotaging him, could easily get his thoughts together. I've never in my entire life seen somebody who was smart, who thought a certain way, who was a martial artist who couldn't easily get their thoughts together if they wanted to unless they were sabotaged. That just doesn't happen. It just never, ever happened. It just doesn't happen. And on top of everything else, why would I lie? I have no reason in the world to lie. You think it's going to help me get chicks? I haven't had a date in like 8 years. You think if I tell someone, hey, they're sabotaging me, they're fuming me, they're covertly poisoning me, and therefore you should date me. That doesn't help me get a date. Doesn't help me get money. This is where my parents live right now. I live with my parents. Doesn't help me get money. Doesn't help me get a date. Doesn't help me get fame. Why would I lie? You think somebody that they are afraid to debate is crazy? If I'm so crazy, why can't you beat me in a debate? If I'm so out of touch with reality, if I'm so out of touch with logic, because they're the ones who are out of touch with reality. They're the ones who are out of touch with logic. They don't have the heart. Right? The Egyptians said the Egyptians said that intelligence was found in the heart, right? The heart was the seat of intelligence. And the Bible says the Lord weighs the heart. Now ask yourself, why do they emphasize causing me to stumble on words? There's some kind of obnoxious geeks, these control freak English people. Yes, you fucking, well, that's what you fucking get, man. Okay, they are fucking crazy. These military guys, well, that's our orders. Well, you did something you're not supposed to do. You ever meet those police officers way out of touch? You're not supposed to be a control freak cop abusing your badge, abusing your authority. And they say, well, you're not doing something you're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to be a subtly racist asshole pig. You're supposed to be professional, right? But they don't want to admit that to themselves and so on and so forth. Now, as we look at the situation, we see that they're failed miserably. How many of you believe them and not me? I'm the son of 2 doctors and 1 a brain surgeon. You might say, why do you bring this up all the time? Why do police officers wear police? And I'm not trying to bash the police in this video. I'm trying to put things in perspective. Why do they wear their badge every day? It shows you something. They're trying to prevent me from showing you that I have the highest social status. So I have to explain it to you. What happens when a brain surgeon's son, the son of 2 doctors, 1 a brain surgeon, on a planet where the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, dedicates his life to morality and explaining morality and the principles of righteousness and justice, the forms and the idea and the explanation of righteousness and justice, instead of brain surgery or law school. Okay, he becomes more respectable than everybody else. Why? Because nothing is more important than trying to get people to be moral. It's more important for them to try to be moral than to live a long life. Thus, Christ on the cross, John the Baptist, Stephen the martyr, Martin Luther King. Was he better off being some McDonald's manager if he could live twice as long? No, that's stupid as hell. Not only is that not the case, but it's stupid as hell. Okay? And just like that, I've proven to you I have the highest social status. Who do you know is a brain surgeon's son